First at 4, a new twist in a high school hazing scandal. We'll tell you why 3 students have now filed a lawsuit. The battle over impeachment is starting to hit home for some Michigan lawmakers. One Democrat faces a boisterous crowd in Rochester. Paula.
Hiding in plain sight from ICE, taking sanctuary in a sanctuary that has become more like a prison than a church home. I'll introduce you to a family that hopes God hears their prayers in this place at this time.
No snow for us today, but will that stretch continue all the way till Christmas? We'll look at that right now, first at 4.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Drew, and this is First at 4. Surprising twist today in that hazing scandal that's engulfed Warren de La Salle High School. First, we've just learned the football coach is no longer with the team. The school is not saying whether he was fired or resigned. Also developing right now, 3 students accused of being involved in that alleged locker room incident have filed suit against the school. They claim the private Catholic school discriminated against them, suspending them because of their race. It also claims 2 of the students are at risk of not graduating on time. The suit alleges the students were blackmailed with the promise of having their suspensions lifted for the names of other students involved. The school just released a statement saying it cannot comment on legal matters. Finally, good news for Harsens Island ferry service for cars and light trucks. It is expected to resume in just 2 hours. This comes 5 days after a dock collapsed, leaving hundreds stranded with no way on or off the island. The ferry has been bringing pedestrians to and from the island, but these would be the first vehicles. We'll be following this one at 5 and 6. Stay here for more updates. Some big changes coming to the North American International Auto Show Charity Preview. With the auto show now taking place in June, the Charity Preview will feature both indoor and outdoor events, expanding into Hart Plaza. Guests can also choose from 2 ticket options, choosing all access, or you can save some money and get an outdoor ticket for $200. Charity Preview is set for June 12th. You can learn to compare tickets, prices, and get more specifics on clickondetroit.com. We're among the lucky ones today when it comes to the weather. There was some nasty stuff in other states causing some major travel snafus, but we're okay, Ben, and hopefully the good luck will stick with us.
Yeah, Karen, we don't see any huge issues going forward. In fact, clouds are going to be the worst thing I think we're going to have to deal with going forward. May see a flurry as we get into tonight, but definitely the worst of the weather is down to the south. Major winter storm here across parts of Illinois and Indiana, and then further south, severe weather outbreak. We've had reports of already 7 tornadoes with the stronger end of that line of thunderstorms, and we're going to keep watching that as we go forward into this evening. But for us, single-digit lows as we get into the middle part of the week. So temperatures dive and then they come back up again, and they stay that way for a while. We'll look at an extended warm-up late week. And right now, Christmas week is looking snow-free. We'll show you where the trouble spots are going to be in just a few minutes. Karen?
Thank you, Ben. Members of Congress could be facing heated town hall meetings like the one that happened today over at Oakland University in Rochester. This week's impeachment vote is stirring heated divisions here in Michigan and all across the country. Lawmakers put on the spot over how they will vote. So let's get to Kimberly Gill. She's in the newsroom, and this is going to be a critical week.
It is, Karen, and good afternoon to you. It's a conversation taking place at dinner tables, on bar stools, and workplaces pretty much everywhere. Should President Trump be impeached? Most Americans have opinions either way, but it's up to members of the House of Representatives to make that decision. The House is expected to vote Wednesday on 2 articles of impeachment approved by the House Judiciary Committee. One accuses the president with abuse of power for his dealings with Ukraine, allegedly pressuring that country to investigate his political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, and his son. The other accuses him of obstruction of Congress for refusing to cooperate with the House impeachment inquiry. Here in Michigan, Democrat Alyssa Slotkin was part of the blue wave in 2018. She held a meeting after revealing she will vote yes to impeach. She spoke at a community meeting at Oakland University that got pretty noisy at times, forcing her to shout over the crowd there. Critics brought posters to make their point, but at times they were drowned out by applause from those who support her decision. Slotkin did her best to share her thinking.
Please let her speak. I want people to think about where we will be if it becomes normal to ask foreign governments to intervene in our political process. What if that becomes normal? What if next time we have a Democratic president asking the Chinese government for a cyber attack.
Our congresswoman is failing us. She just, okay, you got a congresswoman that runs as an independent and falls into the swamp. And she's going to vote with them to impeach our president? That's how she falls? No.
We spoke with the Congresswoman after her speech, and we're checking with other Michigan representatives about how they plan to vote on impeachment as well. Our coverage will continue on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you for more news of the day.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you at 5, Kim. If Congress votes on Wednesday as scheduled, President Trump will be in the state of Michigan that same night. He's holding a rally over in Battle Creek at 7 o'clock on December 18th. That could be pretty interesting event, depending on how things all play out in Washington. Of course, we've got you covered. Imagine living inside a church every day, never being able to go anywhere, stuck there for months and months. That's what's happened to a Southgate man who's about to spend his second Christmas in voluntary captivity, trying to avoid being deported away from his sick wife. Paula Tutman is at Central United Methodist Church, where a husband and wife are hiding in plain sight from ICE. Paula.
Yeah, hi, Karen. So this man had legal temporary protective status, or protected status, I should say, 20 years ago when he got here. When that was removed, he was ordered to buy a one-way ticket and leave this country. Instead, he and his wife have chosen to hide and fight in the house of God.
There's a lot of problems, but what can I do?
His name is Ded Aransborgai. And he's waiting for God to hear him and answer.
God bring us life, God can get us.
For 2 years, he's called Central United Methodist Church in Detroit home. Not his church home, just home.
Like prison, like in jail.
Ded has not stepped foot on so much as the stoop outside the church doors. To do so would be to face immediate arrest, deportation, and separation from his sick wife, Flora, who has advanced MS.
I can leave her by herself. Her can drive, her can do nothing by herself, can use the bathroom by herself either.
Also, his 17-year-old American-born, American citizen son, and his 25-year-old DACA son. So for 23 months and counting, he paces the confines of the sanctuary, his extended living room. And he is grateful, but he says he is literally going stir-crazy.
Many times I say to myself, I'm leave, because it's too hard to stay in sanctuary. For 2 years, it's very, very hard. My brain just gone crazy and crazy.
He flicks at non-existent pieces of lint on the pews. He fights to remember details of his life in Southgate, outside these walls, as a father, a husband, a provider.
I do cook for 17 years.
His rooftop garden allows him to grow food, but he longs for the concrete on Woodward Avenue, the grass at Campus Martius, his home in Southgate, freedom. This is not a way to live.
I no got other choice to killing me. What the choice I got? What kind of life I got? No got family with me. What kind of life I got?
Eric Shelley is with the social justice organization, Michigan United.
We talk about how we love our spouses, but how often do you get a chance to prove it like this? This is real. Ted's doing a wonderful thing for his wife, and I think we all need to stand by him.
Central United Methodist Church provides sanctuary for those in jeopardy of deportation, yet it has become a gilded cage, a velvet rope. It is beautiful agony.
We're writing a love story here. Can you imagine if the government told you to leave your spouse? Would you obey that law? It's insane.
Now, Flora does have legal status on a humanitarian basis, but again, Ded does not. And he is waiting to fight this through the courts. He's waiting for his case to go through the courts. While he waits, however, he and his wife remain here, praying every single day in their church home, which is literally their home. Karen?
As you said, beautiful agony. All right. Thank you, Paula. In today's trending stories here, first at 4, the Hallmark Channel is still looking for a happy ending to a gay marriage controversy. You've probably heard about this one. Well, we're going to tell you where things stand this afternoon. Also, Reebok enters the race to make so-called vegan running shoes. Wait till you hear what this shoe is made of. Up first, It's a snack food many parents always have on hand. I know we've got tons of them in our pantry and on the floor of my car. We'll talk about 2 new goldfish flavors, then there's something else about the snack parents might appreciate. We'll be right back.